How you doing, folks? Donnie from Whatever Talk, and I am here doing another Challenge Your Beliefs. And it's been a while. I haven't done Challenge Your Beliefs, and I'm still under construction, kind of, about this Challenge Your Belief stuff. I haven't really done anything Challenge Your Belief other than posting in the group and sharing some stuff. I did actually change the name yesterday, actually, to Challenge Our Beliefs, which I like that much more. And I actually got it from Kev from Whatever Talk Show, my partner. He said something, but it sounds kind of clever. Challenge our beliefs and all that. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go with that. I like challenge our beliefs versus challenge your beliefs because it's my beliefs too that's being challenged. I do have a person to talk to here. I'm not talking to myself here. I'm not talking to God in this particular one. I have now podcasting friend, Eric G, and he does the podcast Random Thoughts.
What's going on, good people? How y'all doing? What's up, brother? Thank you.
Awesome, man. I thank you for having the courage to speak religion. It's not that many that likes to go that route.
Well, let me tell you, before I even get started, hey, look, this is my opinion. Hey, look, I'm like I said in the last episode we did together, I'm more spiritual. I believe in religion. I believe in it. But like I said, I can't quote nothing. But I can speak on my personal journey and experience. But that's it.
I can't quote anything either. I can paraphrase a lot.
There you go. I'm gonna paraphrase too, but it just ain't gonna have nothing to do with the word that was in the Bible. But it's gonna be a whole different. Like I think it said in Deuteronomy, but
I think they said in Deuteronomy that you can't be doing that wrong like
that. No. I mean, it's something about you can't have sex with the horse. Anyway, like I was saying,
well, that's cool. Again, and here's something too that I've been thinking about, like since Challenge Your Beliefs became a thing in my head, is how exactly to explain myself about this whole Challenge Our Beliefs thing that I'm doing. Because I know Kev is up in his head like, man, what is this cat talking about? He gets the gist of it, and myself getting the gist of it myself, trying to think about, like, I do know how elaborate it sounds trying to explain what it is Challenge Your Belief is to me. And now that I think about it, the best way I can explain it now is all of this is hypothetical with me. Hypothetical. Like I stated, I don't believe in religion at all.
Right.
So, and I was trying to, in my head when I was saying that, I was like, that kind of implies that this is hypothetical, but not really. because I also stated like it's just entertaining to me. I just find it interesting, this whole religious stuff. And the reason why I find it interesting is that it rules the world practically. And I just want to have conversations about it, and particularly Christianity, because whether we all have all these religions out here, and ultimately, no matter who you believe in, only one is going to do something about what it's saying, about any religion is saying. unless they all come down here and have a freaking battle royale.
But here's my thing with that though, man. I do feel like all religion has the same base. You know what I'm saying? Every religion has the same base. You know that there's a higher power. You know that spiritual being is what you're connected to. Now, how you go about like your connection to him is what branches out through every religion. You know what I'm saying? Everybody had the same version of what's going on.
Yes, piggybacking off that is that if you do some research in a nice amount of these different religions, and I'm not talking about the branches of Christianity, like Challenge Our Beliefs is focusing on, because that's what I know the most. I grew up as this Christian, because my household was that. So I know that the most. And on top of that, when you, again, think about it, Christianity is the religion the world is kind of like going with for the most part, at least in the American. And that's what I always focus on, is that this is everything that I talk about, whatever talk in this challenge your beliefs thing is from Americans' perspectives for the most part.
Right.
And in America, it's Christianity is what what rule it. And it's on our money. In God we trust. That is Christianity and all that stuff. So piggybacking on what you just said, if you do some research in other Christian, other other religions outside of the different branches of Christianity, like Catholic and Baptist and all that stuff, the different branches of that.
Hindu. Yeah. That's one thing I just learned about. I just learned about Hindu. That's a little bit. I had a podcaster I met about a while ago, and she was telling me about her religion. She's from India, so she was telling me her like religious background, and that's a whole nother. Story.
Yeah. I know about that, a little bit of that as well. But if you do other, like you just said, Hindi, they all kind of like have the same story as well. They all have like a flood in it. It's just different eras in their religion. They all have some type of extension of mankind, you know. So they all, even what we call mythologies, which that is a religion. No matter how you want to put it, it's a mythology. America is categorizing as a mythology, but Christianity is a mythology as well.
I got you. I can see that.
Yeah. So, but even they have a flood, extension of some type of mankind in this area. So, again, this is all hypothetical. My beliefs is hypothetical. That's like the best way I can explain it right now.
Gotcha.
Hypothetical. Because I don't believe in any of it.
Well, your belief is your beliefs. That's the best way to put it.
Yeah, but like I said, I find it interesting enough to have conversations about why do you believe in this blindly, meaning that no, you don't have questions about, you don't ask too many questions, or when people ask you questions, you get all in a uptight, your britches in a bunch and stuff and all that stuff. So just why do you blindly follow this stuff? Because again, I get it, because your religion tells you to follow it blindly. I get that part of it. Right. But seriously, why do you follow it blindly? You know, but that was a long introduction of, again, me trying to figure it out myself. Where I'm coming from with this still. Right. Now, what I wanted to talk about, I've been thinking heavily a lot about Adam and Eve recently. And like I stated in the one, I touched on it on the episode that you were on or whatever talk, and that's done, by the way. It's been done. I just been busy, haven't released it.
I understand. Yeah. Trust me, I'm behind like 5 episodes, so I don't feel bad.
I caught all the way up to all my edits, and the episode you were on is the last one. And then I was like, I'm just burnt out now, man. I just gotta chill. I'm burnt out. Like, I get all the way here catching up, and now I'm burnt out.
Oh man, don't get me started. I got kids who play sports, and I'm running. Yeah, this is crazy. I like, what the hell? I think of being a podcaster. I'm glad.
Okay, so I did touch on the Adam and Eve thing on the one that you was recorded with us with, and piggybacking off that a little bit. First, I want to touch on everybody giving their opinion about when the world is going to end. The Mayans say it's supposed to end it back in 2012 or whatever, or 2000. Or
now, go ahead. I got something to say about that.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
So, but things have been running on through my head about Adam and Eve is that why are they not as significant as I think they should be, being the most important humans created, period. Right. Like, only thing we hear about them is that they were created, they got in trouble, they faded.
Well,
they pretty much died of old age. You don't hear.
No,
and
really?
They had 2 kids.
But wasn't Adam cute?
Where did he say? Where is that at in there? Either I'm skipping over that, or
because I was I was reading up on a lot of stuff, man. And I was like I said, ever since the episode me you had, I wanted to try to learn something.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember listening to a video, and it was telling about how like when they had Cain and Abel and how they continued like going from there. And it was, I'm trying to make sure maybe he did die of old age, or it was something, I'm trying to remember exactly, because when the killing between Cain and Abel happened, it was Cain was jealous of Abel. And but he was jealous for the affection of Eve. And it was this big
the jealous from the affection of Eve.
Because think about it.
Are you getting this from the Bible? Because far as
it wasn't remember, it was I'm doing the cliff notes. Listen, what I'm saying. Okay. So it was no, okay. But like I said, because you do, but you got to take away from, and like I said, if you're going to research religion, I think that if a person is going to research, it needs to research all aspects.
Yeah, everything that's related to the Bible, everything that's related to the research, to the religion.
Before you, if you're gonna speak on that topic, I think anybody that's gonna continue to do that needs to focus on how does this religion tie to this religion, tie to that religion, what came from, and how the hell Scientology is made up. Yeah. All of that got to be
what makes this the religion.
Right.
Yeah. So
right.
Yeah.
But the one part I heard was that in different books that it was said that Cain was jealous of Abel, they was battling for the affection of Eve. And you think about it, it's only one woman in the world at the time. You have to procreate. I can't say the same word. Procreate. So you have to, and there's one woman in the world, and that one woman happened to be your mother. So you have to battle for that affection. Hey man, look, man, that's how West Virginia started, right there. But look. But yeah, man. But yeah, that's what I read. And could be wrong, could be right. But my thing was, I remember different stories I've heard consisted of that the battle came from the jealousy between Cain and Abel for the affection of Eve. And I'm not quite sure I'm trying to remember what they said about Adam. I do think he probably did die of old age, but it was something else I can't think of at this moment.
Okay. All right. Also challenge our beliefs is the Bible. Like it's focusing on what the Bible is telling Americans who believe in it. But I do branch off into other branches of Christianity because I'm more focused on Christianity more so than any other religion, because again, I only know about Christianity the most out of all of them because I grew up at it. And again, Christianity, the Bible that book is what telling people what to do in the world. So according to the Bible, he was jealous because God was showing, Cain was jealous because God was showing Abel more affection.
Okay.
In the Bible, that coming straight from the Bible. But I do have this other book. I have this book that talks about 4 other books, I think, of Adam and Eve, about after they got kicked out the garden. It is advertised as fiction, but like I said it before, the Bible was fiction too, if you want to look at it that way.
if you got to look at it that way, because nobody have the true Bible now. We're 2021. There's no true reading of the word. Everybody you have different versions of the Bible as the years go on. But I do think that nobody had the true wording of it. But I don't know. I do think there's got to be in every fiction is a line of truth somewhere.
Of course.
Somewhere is a line, somewhere in them words.
You have to know the truth to not tell it.
Right. Right.
You have to know the truth to not tell it the correct way, unless you're going on somebody else's story with your so-called truth telling. Yeah. So yeah. And honestly, the best lies do have the truth in it somewhere, because that's what makes a lie that much more believable.
Okay.
You're stretching out the truth to make it seem like, okay, you're telling me the truth, but you're leaving out this.
Well, that's not a lie. It's not a lie. For example, it's just like
that's why I said stretching. That's why it's stretching. Like you're being manipulative with it. Like, there's more to tell me, but you've been deceiving by not telling me this portion. So now I'm left with the assumption to come up with the rest of it because it's not making sense.
Well, if we're gonna not quote the Bible, but if we go to the Bible, you're looking at the fact we're dealing with over 60 some books in the actual Bible. And they all recant. It's not. They all restates. I can't say my words the other day. They all they all say the words of different people. This is different individuals sharing their stories of what they believe.
Exactly.
And my thing was, and like I said, for me, what made me more spiritual was, like I said, in your episode with me and you had, was that I felt I grew up like you. I grew up in church. I grew up going to church. I grew up having to go to church. We in the South, Black. That's what we had to do. You had to go to church on Sundays. You had to make sure you listen to this, that, and third. But as I got older, I realized that certain things in my life, I can only get, this is me speaking, I can only get more like clarity for certain things that was in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? I used it personally for my own personal benefit, which I think everybody's doing, which got everybody in this situation where nobody know what the truth is.
Exactly. See, and you know what? And that's why I was conflicted when we was talking about even me as well. Hey, you read the book and you get what you want out of it, or get what you get out of it. I felt confliction with that because now that I'm thinking about it some more, it's kind of like that's your cop-out way of saying, well, you believe what you want to believe, even though you want us to believe this exactly. Like
I don't see it that way. I don't see that I'm saying keep cutting y'all off. I don't see it that way as we have to believe it exactly. Do you get what I'm saying? Because it's a guide. It's a guide. You get what I'm saying? For this is how I look at it. I look at it as a guide. I look at it as, okay, cool. How can you mold your life based off of maybe other, for example, if somebody have a mistake and they give you advice, they give you advice off their mistakes. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And you choosing to guide your life based off of that information. And that's why I look at it as a guide.
Yeah. Okay. And I do see it from that point of view as well. But trying to go back to the Adam and Eve, but yeah, I feel like there should be more importance of them being that they were the ones who had to so-called replenish the earth, which again, I find that word funny that you choose to use replenish versus populate. Because the word means the exact same thing of refill and fill. So somebody say replenish, even if you never had anything to replenish, they telling you to fill that. But so it's kind of like, why would you choose replenish over just populate if it was nothing to replenish? And on top of that, why does that word mean the same thing? Okay. So I kind of see that as a loophole of, well, I said replenish, I didn't say blah blah blah. So
but move my camera back.
But yeah, I still feel like Adam and Eve should be more important because of that. Not going back to what you said about Cain and Abel fighting over the affection from Eve, their mom. In the other bus, the bus I told you about, they have two sisters as well.
Right.
One was this Lilith, I think that's how you say it, Lilith, this person that I heard so many things about Lilith being Adam's first wife. I'm like, the Bible says zero. They don't even allude to Adam having anybody other than Eve.
Well, it never said that Adam was married?
No, it never said Adam and Eve was married, but I'm just saying. But we know Adam and Eve were together. Right. And they had that. That's why I said the Bible doesn't give any significance to Adam and Eve, who I feel like if this stuff is real, they should be like just as important as Moses and Noah and Jesus and them.
But and again, like I said, but that takes back again, like I said, it's a recantment of other people's experience. So,
Yes, yeah.
so what I'm saying, and again, like I said, not saying that the book is wrong. I would never say
Mm-hmm.
ain't nothing in this world ain't flawed. That's one thing we would say that. But my
Except
thing
I. Except I. No.
how you made some
No.
right here? Anyway, he made some freezing. Anyway, but
No.
no, just aside. But my thing was, I do think I'm not saying it ain't flawed, ain't no flaws in it. But my thing was, yes, I don't think it's a complete story. I do think that as it's been retold over the years, it's been picked out. So as we get to the version we had probably in the 80s, so the version we had in the 70s, when they had them really big Bibles. We go back to those versions. Though they probably do elaborate what happened to Adam.
Nope, I got one. Nope. I'm trying to go. I actually want to go back farther, far as I can as
that's what we do.
Yeah, to find Bibles to get before it was tampered with the most or the least. Right. But I'm still having trouble finding it.
We're talking about a book from thousands of years ago. You know what I'm saying? We will never know the true story. But
a book way before Columbus decided to discover something.
and you gotta think about Columbus came here on his version what he thought Christianity was. You there, bro? Okay, got it.
Yeah, I'm here. All right. Yeah, I was getting the call.
But don't say. So you got to go. I mean, we never get the true meaning of it. Now, like I said, if I go back and look at certain parts of me, I do feel like personally that I guess Adam even have. So how I'm looking at it, you look at it as in a fictional wise, story wise, Adam Eve's story probably wasn't as significant as what happens to Cain and Abel. So you were like, okay, cool, we're gonna run with the Cain and Abel story because that's gonna get your attention, and we're gonna move from there. But I do think there's more stories out there that we just ain't having to touch yet.
Yeah, of course. Besides from the Ethiopian's Bible, which has like in the two digits of extra books that we don't have, and strategically that we don't have.
Yeah, I don't know, but here's my thing. I do think Trey too, man. Also about religion, man. I'm not looking for good things, trying to say something else, but I don't think it's meant for us to know the true story. I think certain things we are not meant to know.
You know, I've heard that in some cases as well, but I'm like, why would you think you not? I guess lack of better words, worthy or good enough, but I'll go with worthy to know knowledge, because we are trying to be more Christ-like, which is the key to getting to heaven. So to be more Christ-like is to have more knowledge on exactly what it is that you're trying to get to.
Yeah, but my thing is to be more like, I think, and I guess it depends on the interpretation. But I can't say words. Dang, that's why I can't talk. Interpretation of words. But don't say it. But my thing was, I think, yes, to be more Christ-like, but I think some people take that to a place where they be like, where we're powerful in Christ. You know what I'm saying? If they was able to get that type of information, you know what I'm saying? But I do feel like you're looking at the fact now that everybody is living their life based off what they feel. Bible tells them.
And that's why we got freaking insane world that we live in. We got this insane world because you want to pick and choose which portion of the Bible that you want to believe in. And now this is the planet is going on because we got 7 billion plus, well, minus the plus now because the government stopped the plus with Rona.
Yeah. I mean, we falling short right now. All right.
Yeah, but I feel like like if I can receive the knowledge, then I'm worthy of receiving the knowledge. And it's funny that you say that because the Bible does say what you just said, is that only the chosen ones can receive can understand those parables that Jesus is saying. Right, like if you're the chosen one, you should be able to understand the parables. And I'm like, how about Jesus not purposely say a parable and tell me my answer straight up?
But how would you know? How would you know how you would react if you would unlock that type of information?
But how would you know how you would not react? It's the same thing.
You don't take you worry about it.
Yeah, but that's the same. That's the same thing of saying don't try, because how would you know if you don't try? That's the same thing as saying that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like, why not receive the knowledge if it's out there to receive the knowledge, or if it's out there to be so-called unlocked? Why not go for it? Because nobody, okay, I forget how it goes all the way, but it's like you don't live old enough to see yourself become the bad guy or something like that.
Yeah, I know.
But it's kind of like, again, how would I, right now in my head, being the person that I am now, I'm not going to ever change to be a bad guy. You can throw me Bill Gates money. You can throw me, what's his name, Zuckerberg money. And in my head, I'm not going to become this bad guy because that's me. But unless I actually go forward and try to make my attempts to get that type of money, I would never know if I ever was going to become this bad guy that they so-called say in the world.
Well, okay, in that case, then based off that, we're going to use that model you just said right there. Though, if the thing is, if you live long enough, to seek to watch yourself become the bad guy. So the reason why I think people say that is because the world is so corrupt as the older you get, the more you realize what is going on around you.
Exactly.
The more you realize what's going on around you. And it's not that you're intentionally trying to go out to be the quote unquote bad guy. It's the fact that as you grow, for example, you see the world different than you did when you was 10 years old.
Yeah.
So you see the world different than when you was 10 years old. At 10 years old, everything seemed pretty decent. Now you grown, got bills, and you realize life ain't as easy as it was when you were 10. Like, look, you're a little bitter now. You're like, look, damn it, I would like you're not as bushy eyed as you was when you was bushy tailed as you was when you was 10. So now as you get older, you're gonna realize, okay, cool. The world is way more colder than I thought as you get older. And the more you reach out and you live your life, you're gonna realize that. Which I said we're gonna take it back to the Bible was, I do think that certain things that is meant to be unlocked will be unlocked. If certain things don't need to be unlocked, you should not touch it. And then we'll end up having a world with a bunch of people thinking that they're gods.
But first of all, we already live like that. They're called Caucasian. But but
I'm not praising Karen.
But again, I hear what you're saying, because no matter what type of conversation you have, there's always going to be an opposing side to it. And some of those opposing sides you straight up understand. And I do get it. But again, you know how you are. At least I feel like you should know who you are. And if you feel like you're not this so-called suitable person for whatever type of venture you decide to trencher in, then don't trencher in it then.
But here's one thing is, you can't come into that situation being the person you is sometimes. It's certain situations that will actually break you, and some situations will actually change your output on life. Or not your output on life, your viewpoint on how you understand life. So it does change you as you get older, as you live long enough.
And you're absolutely right. But no matter how it changes you, that's still a form of growth.
Okay.
No matter how it changes you, because you didn't have the same aspect when you didn't have the confidence to unlock this knowledge that you feel like you didn't supposed to unlock. You didn't have the same mindset, and it changed you. And if you do have that mindset, when you unlock what you thought you might have known, it changes you because you had some type of growth in some way, shape, or form. And I still see it falls under the category of, if you don't try, how would you ever know, period. Modern times, as another example real quick before I know you said you got to head out in a few, real quick, is education now. Why is education so freaking not only inferior to people, period, but why is education so freaking expensive? Why is education so freaking locked away from the government? Why is education so hard? Why is education power? And then they take away that power by locking down schools, by not funding schools, especially if they teach what we're talking about, history.
But that's different though. I mean, my thing is that's men though. If you since the dawn of time, you realize that cool, we can benefit off of this certain subject, or we can benefit off this certain thing. We can hold the key to who can unlock it. That's the problem we have in man. Now, when I say when it comes to education is wealth. That's just true. Also, as you learn as you get older, that more experience is what brings you in. So that's
education as well. Experience is education.
Don't say your experience education. Now we're talking about as in like studying wise. It's men. It's the topic of men. You have people who's out there like, okay, cool. We're gonna let you know as much as we want you to know for this amount of price. Now, if you want to know more, order the deluxe version. And that's what's gonna happen. And that's what happens.
Yeah, that's what happens with man. Yeah.
We start relying on the benefit of our life from other people and judge based on yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do hear that where you're coming from, but I still feel like if that why are we intimidated by education? Mm-hmm. You said man, like as an overall, not just the government man, but man overall. Why are we intimidated by education? And I think it falls under the criteria of what you said. Maybe everything not meant to be unlocked. But again, if they're charging us for education, if they're doing everything in their power to block us from getting what they deem is not supposed to be unlocked, then why are we so intimidated by education? And why are they the ones in control of this should not be unlocked when the religion that you're giving us, that you're telling us, says to seek that what is unlocked?
Like I said, and that's why it ties it back to man. Because if you really want to figure out something in your life, you're going to figure it out. You can do the work. You can do the own footwork to get to it. Nobody say you have to go to college to be successful. You know how to work your way up yourself. That's the same way when it comes to that topic of religion. I do think, yes, it's certain men, and when I say men, I mean people in general. Mankind. That they're like, okay, cool. We feel like we're the elites. We feel like this should be offered up. And like I said, I agree with you. Why is that? Does it make sense? No. I do feel like, if you really want to know something, basically I'm going to say this, but fuck what anybody's got to say.
Oh yeah.
Work your way around it. I mean, life ain't never meant for you to go straight one way. You know there's another way around something. Figure it out as much as you can around. And that's why I say back to the beginning was learn as much as you can around just one subject. Don't just stick to the Christianity Bible because you want to know about Christianity, but you hit the footnotes. Okay, Christianity, you gotta learn what was Catholic. Okay, Catholic, you gotta know what was Judaism. Like we gotta put them all together. So they all ties together. That bigger story. Once you realize that bigger story, now you're unlocking the knowledge that you should.
Oh yeah. And I'm gonna say this one last thing, then we're gonna move on to this one when do you think the world may end, or in the Bible's case, reset. Which again, one can say that reset. I always get us off the topic every time we start. No, I'm gonna say one can use the word reset as a form as end because it's resetting, but yeah, the Bible says reset, not end. But shoot, I forget where I was about to go. What was the last thing you said?
About knowledge and about
you know what? Forget about it. God didn't want me to say that right now.
See, he took it out of you. You won't ready. See, that's what you won't ready to release.
I love making jokes, man. Jokes are
all good. You read my Facebook, man. I'll make it all the
time. But maybe I'll think about it by the time we get to the end of this. But okay, the world is supposed to have ended back in 2000, and they came up with the dumbest thing I have ever heard in my life, especially thinking about it nowadays. But when I was still in high school, I think it was 10th grade, maybe.
You got age on me. Oh God. All right, go ahead. Yeah, 10 years old. Go ahead.
So yeah, I was in high school doing the Y2K. Y2K, and they said now that I'm thinking about it, they said the dumbest excuse like, oh yeah, all the computers are going to shut down and the world going to blow up because of it's going to be so many too many zeros for the work for it. I'm like, okay, according to y'all, isn't that the language of computer, zeros and ones? So how is it going to?
And you know, and I'm gonna tell you straight, and I'm not afraid to say it. I was 10 years old at the time. And I remember that when they were saying that, you know, I was actually ready for the world to shut down. So I was sitting there, and I was in the house. I was in my grandmother's house, and we counted that. So I'm ready for like the power to like the blip, everything to shut down. And I was like, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, shut up!
Exactly. Yeah, that was hilarious. And the world's supposed to have ended like what 2 more times since the Y2K.
Would be it should have been 2000, 2012, 2016. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 2016. Yep.
Oh, I remember now what I was about to say earlier. I also thought about this too, because again, you know, anybody who watch whatever talk or listen to whatever talk in or listen to this, you know, I think about my thoughts.
Go ahead.
I think about the stuff that I think about and think about those as well.
Gotcha.
Is that what if the so-called deciphering of religion itself is deciphering all of the other religions? Like it's not just Christianity, it's not just Muslim, it's not just Buddha, Hindi, and all this stuff. Is what if we have to ins and outs figure out each one of those religions in order to unlock the so-called parables that Jesus was talking about?
Right. I do think that's how I was saying though. Or you can unlock any higher power. You have to know the knowledge. So I do feel like everything coincides with each other. So so like I said, for me to sit there and say, yeah, I can only go off of just the Christianity Bible because that was I was brought up with, that were raised. And if you want to truly say that you agree with something or disagree with something, before you can say I disagree with it or agree with it, research as much as you can. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I grew up in a Christian home. You know what I'm saying? So and it's weird because you got Christianity, you got Baptist. Anyway, so
which are Christians,
right? But like I said, I grew up in a Christian home, so I reflect my life based off of what I have grown into. But as I got older, instead of me going for living my life according to the Bible, I based off my mistakes and my problems to actually help me heal. You know what I'm saying? I use that as a foundation and a guide.
Hold on, one sec.
Do you think, folks?
All right. Yeah, somebody was on paging the phone, paging again.
Hey, look, I'm not gonna tell you. Look, tell your side chick you was in a podcast episode right now. I'm not gonna tell your wife, man. Hey, he's back here. He's back here with some hoes, y'all. Anyway,
she better not be buzzing in the door right now. That's who I just let in.
matter of fact, you ever seen that little poster like, what would you do if Jesus knocking at your door? What would you do with your side chick at the door? That's the question. But
pray for Jesus.
Pray for Jesus. Lord, please let me God today.
Yeah, that's just another thing I was thinking about. Like, that'd be something very clever that nobody, at least I haven't heard nobody think about it like that before. I do like how you thought about that though. I do like how you worded that, because I do feel like Trey, nobody knows the true. Nobody have a true religion, if that makes sense. I do feel like we need everybody in this world, and I feel like we need some kind of balance and base. You know what I'm saying? Balance in life. Whether you agree with, not just a simple belief. You just need some type of foundation to stand on. You need some type of foundation. Whether it wearies look back and forth, that's you. But everybody needs something to base their life on. You just can't live your life. You can't live your life in the dark and not know what's going on. Oh yeah, I do feel like everybody do need some type of balance and also a type of belief, and because of that will help I guess it helps you better understand what you're trying to understand to a certain degree. But this is what I don't feel about it, which is what religious do. And again, it's because their religion tells them to do things like this, which people believe in this stuff murderously. Like literally, like you don't believe in this, you're done. Like you don't exist no more.
And again, that's that person's interpretation. And
but no, the Bible actually says this stuff. Like the Bible actually tells you if you, I think this is around Abraham or his sons, Abraham's sons era. I think if you say I'm Abraham, my people have to get circumcised and all that good stuff. Go follow the word the way I'm telling you to follow. Now, it also states, and it states in the Bible that God is talking in this portion, and that says,
hold on one second. My wife calling me now. So
go ahead. Oh, you got a deal.
Yeah, she just reminded me that sometime you go to work.
Head out, man. I did want to hear talk about the end of the world type thing.
Let me jump into that real quick. Then I can jump into that real quick before I leave. I got like at least 2 minutes. The world's gonna end when Oprah dies. So that's when when Oprah goes, that's it. Every white woman in America is gonna jump off a bridge. I'm telling you that damn day.
And then they went to the white women.
That damn day. And that could be black women because we were like, what? I didn't believe in the bitch anyway. But I mean, I was with Monique when she said that. But I do also just I don't think if we're gonna go back to the Bible, we'll go back to the Bible. Like you said, it's no day or time. You don't know. Everybody has their own version of what they believe is. Everybody, like the Mayans had their own calculations or what they think will happen. Maybe your version of your world is going to end at a certain time.
Yeah, of course.
Like, you know what I'm saying? You be like, yo, man, my world is gone. But your version is going to end at a certain time. But as you talk about the world itself, you'll be dead and gone before that world has to go.
Honestly, I don't think the world is not going to end anytime soon. Anytime soon. But if I was to give a calculation on it, I will say somewhere in the millennium of 5,000.
5,000. Okay.
Yeah, like when we say, what year is it? The year of 5,000, so and so. I would say somewhere in that era or in that area because of, I believe it's in Second John, John's books, his second one, or one of his goons' second book in the new religion. I mean, the New Testament. Yeah. But he states that Jesus, I think Jesus is stating in the Bible in that era, in that portion, stating that one day is equal to like 1,000 days or 1,000 years or something like that. Or 1 year is equal to, I think it's where 1 year is equal to like 1,000 years. And he has said something along the lines, once the time of 5,000, day 5, I think it's like day 5. Day 5 is going to come. Yeah. So 1 day is it's equal to 1,000 years. So he's like on day 5, blah 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 is going to be
and again,
the time.
But if like you said, going according to the Bible, everything is so metaphor. So you don't know what exactly that meant. I don't think technically you'd be like,
know everything is metaphor.
But I'm saying, but you can't tell me somebody back in 300 BC knew like we.
No, this is Jesus talking. This is Jesus talking.
But I'm saying that we don't. It's not saying that he's not unknown. That's God. But my thing was that nobody would ever know. Nobody. I do think if we're gonna live, let's say, I know we ain't gonna live to 5,000, but if we ever get to this world, get to that place of 5,000, I think that the world's gonna be more. It's gonna be renewed so much. I'm not gonna say it's gonna end. It's gonna be renewed. Unless you say,
reset.
It's gonna the world as you watch over. We're gonna get back to history. I'm gonna be history. I gotta hurry up, but the world changed.
Go, man, go. I ain't trying to get you fired.
Over 1,000 of years, the world has spread. The earth has spread out, and the land has moved, has shifted away from each other. as it goes, we're just gonna be just an island in the middle of the ocean.
Well, that's what science says, because science also said this Pangea thing was real,
Mm-hmm.
which is every single continent that we have now, including ones that's submerged under the waters, were connected. And then so-called science said that platelets did what it did, and now we have Africa and America and stuff like that.
I kind of believe that though. I kind of do believe that because we're looking at now science is a whole different thing coming from religion. But
yeah, I know. I love me some science.
I don't even want to touch that. I'm scared. I'm scared as hell about that one.
Get out of here, man. We talk about this later, dude.
All right, we'll talk later, man. I appreciate it, man. I run my damn mouth all day.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming along, man. That was awesome you coming on to have this conversation. Peace out until the next time.
All right, brother.
Yeah.
Like I always say at the end of my podcast, God bless you.
Thank you guys for listening to Challenge Our Beliefs. Until the next time, howdy.